See, we don't have honest politicians like we had in the 1800s. Honest Abe was an honest fella. That's why he was called Honest Abe. Because he told the blacks in the White House conference of his day, you all will never be equals here. And I'm white. As long as my people are in the privileged position, that's what I want. So y'all need to find another country, another territory. We'll help you. Just get up out of here. See, that's honest. You can deal with an honest man. But today, white America doesn't want us, but they say they want us. And a Negro slave, that's all a Negro needs to hear. Boss wants me. So we'll take boss any old kind of way boss comes. Because we really don't want to leave the master. But if Elijah's successful, Elijah will have all these people thinking nation time. So the enemy went to work. All of a sudden, Marvin Gaye's question, what's going on, becomes let's get it on. Man. All of a sudden now, the movies change. Because a man told Minister Farrakhan on the island of Jamaica in 1972, the producer of a movie that he was in the island and one of his friends was acting in, and after the movie shoot was finished, the producer came over to Minister Farrakhan and said words to this effect: Mr. Farrakhan, it's not you that we fear, but it's your idea. And he said, we study trends. And whenever we see trends that we don't like, a group of us meet in an apartment in Park Avenue or in a home in the Hollywood Hills, and we discuss trends. And when we see trends that we don't like, we gather our movie people, our music industry people, our television people, our fashion people, and we discuss how we're going to set the new trends that we want the people to follow. Well, the Holy Quran, there's a word in the Quran in Arabic called makara, which talks about turning people skillfully in a way that they don't even know they're being turned. Satan uses culture to turn whole populations. That's why if you want to be a great nation, you got to close the borders to keep the enemy out until you have strengthened yourself so firmly in your culture that when he comes, you begin to have an effect on him. You may not have heard what I just said. But you know what? China is a great nation today because God came in the person of Mao Zedong. The Spirit of God intervened in the Chinese people's affairs and raised up a man who would take the Chinese people, close the borders, and establish a cultural revolution. Kick the white man out of China, wouldn't let him in China, so that by the time President Nixon came to China in the early 70s, China was a nuclear superpower that the white man had to deal with on equal footing because he had a cultural revolution, closed off his borders, told the dope fiends, told the hustlers, you got a few months to clean it up. If you don't clean it up after a few months, you die. Oh, that's rough stuff, man. What? You got to be willing to have that kind of spirit if you're going to build a nation. Now, if you're just talking frat, sorority, block club, big difference. But China's a superpower because they cut off the world and looked within and established themselves as a nation. And now they're a superpower. Now you can say, come in. Welcome. Let's do business. But you can't do business unequally. You got to recognize. And whether you know it or not, China is becoming the superpower economically. But it started with a man who was committed to the idea